You know that sinking feeling when your doctor slides your lab results across the desk and your blood sugar numbers are creeping higher every single month? That moment when you realize the foods you love might be quietly sabotaging your health, and suddenly everything you thought you knew about eating right gets turned completely upside down. If you're living with diabetes or pre-diabetes, you've probably been told 1,000 times that fruit is off the table because of its sugar content. Cut it out, avoid it, stay away. But here's something that might genuinely surprise you. Not all fruits are created equal, and some are actually powerful allies in managing blood sugar, not enemies. My name is Dr. Williams-Thompson, and today I'm going to show you exactly which fruits can help and which ones to avoid. The truth is, certain fruits contain specific compounds that work almost like tiny messengers in your bloodstream, actively helping to lower glucose levels and improve your A1C over time. These aren't old wives' tales or wishful thinking. We're talking about solid scientific research from major universities and diabetes research centers that have tested these fruits on real people with documented, measurable results. In fact, cutting out fruit completely could mean you're missing out on some of nature's most potent blood sugar regulators, nutrients that could genuinely make a difference in how you feel every single day. Today I'm going fruit number 1 in insulin sensitivity to walk you through the top 4 fruits that have been scientifically proven to help people with diabetes manage their condition more effectively. We'll explore exactly what makes each one special, how much you should eat, the common mistakes that could turn a healthy choice into a blood sugar disaster, and even a simple way to prepare each one so you actually enjoy eating it. Before we dive in, I'm curious, where in the world are you? Watching from right now? And how's your blood sugar been lately? Are you struggling to keep it under control? Feeling frustrated? Drop your city or country. And a quick note in the comments below. I read every message, and it helps me understand what's really affecting people like you. Now let's start with number 4 and work our way up to the most powerful fruit for blood sugar control, fruit. Number 4, berries. Let's start with the smallest fruits that pack the biggest punch when it comes to blood sugar management, berries. When I talk about berries, I'm focusing mainly on blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These little nutritional powerhouses are absolute game changers for anyone dealing with elevated glucose levels. Blueberries contain about 84 calories per cup with 21 g of carbohydrates. But here's what makes them special. They're loaded with 14 milligrams of vitamin C, 114 milligrams of potassium, and 3.6 grams of fiber. But the real magic lies in compounds called anthocyanins, the natural pigments that give blueberries their deep blue color. Studies have shown that these anthocyanins can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 22%. Which means your body becomes significantly better at using the insulin it naturally produces. Strawberries bring 49 calories per cup, 12 grams of carbohydrates, 89 nanomegrams of vitamin C, and 3 g of fiber. Raspberries deliver an impressive 8 grams of fiber per cup, along with just 64 calories and 15 g of carbs. That fiber content is absolutely crucial because it dramatically slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream, preventing those dangerous spikes that can damage your organs over time. The benefits for people with diabetes are multiple and significant. Berries have a low glycemic index, typically ranging from 25 to 40, which means they won't cause rapid blood sugar spikes the way many other foods do. Research from Harvard University found that people who ate at least 2 servings of blueberries per week had a 23% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who didn't eat them regularly. The antioxidants in berries, particularly ellagic acid in strawberries and raspberries, help reduce chronic inflammation throughout your body, which is directly connected to insulin resistance. When your body is chronically inflamed, your cells simply don't respond to insulin properly. But these compounds help calm that inflammation down, allowing insulin to work more effectively. Berries also protect your cardiovascular system, which is absolutely vital because people with diabetes have a significantly higher risk of heart disease and stroke. The best way to eat berries is fresh and raw, ideally in the morning with breakfast or as a mid-afternoon snack. You want to eat them alongside a source of protein or healthy fat to slow down digestion even more. Think a handful of berries with plain Greek yogurt or blend it into a smoothie with almond butter and spinach. Frozen berries are actually just as nutritious as fresh ones, sometimes even more so because they're frozen at peak ripeness when nutrient levels are highest. The biggest mistake people make is consuming berries in juice form or with added sugar. Once you juice berries, you remove all that beneficial fiber and you're left with concentrated sugar that will spike your blood sugar just like soda would. Another common error is eating them with processed cereals or sweetened yogurts, which completely defeats the purpose. I worked with a woman named Sandra, a 58-year-old office manager who'd been struggling with fasting blood sugar in the 140s. She started eating 1 cup of mixed berries with plain Greek yogurt every morning. Nothing else changed in her routine. Within 6 weeks, her fasting blood sugar had dropped into the wonder 10s, and she told me she felt more energetic and less foggy throughout the day. For a simple preparation, mix 1 cup of fresh mixed berries with 3 tablespoons of chia seeds soaked in unsweetened almond milk until it forms a pudding consistency. Top with a small handful of crushed walnuts or almonds. The combination of fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants creates a powerful blood sugar stabilizing meal. The recommended portion for berries is about 1 cup per fruit number 2 and glucose control day, split between meals if you prefer. Start with half a cup if you're new to eating berries regularly and monitor your blood sugar response. Side effects are minimal, but eating more than 2 to 3 cups daily might cause digestive issues like bloating or loose stools because of the high fiber content. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, berries contain vitamin K, which can affect medication effectiveness. So keep your intake consistent and inform your doctor. When buying berries, look for ones that are firm, plump, and deeply colored. Avoid containers with visible moisture or any signs of mold. Organic berries are worth the extra cost for strawberries, especially because conventional strawberries are among the most heavily pesticided produce available. Fruit 3, avocado. Yes, avocado is technically a fruit, and it might just be the most important fruit someone with diabetes can eat regularly. What makes avocados absolutely revolutionary for blood sugar management is their unique nutritional profile, which is completely different from any other fruit on earth. A medium avocado weighing about 200 grams contains approximately 320 calories and 17 g of carbohydrates. But here's the crucial part. 13 of those 17 g are pure fiber, leaving only 4 grams of net carbohydrates. That's almost nothing in terms of blood sugar impact. You're also getting 29 grams of healthy monounsaturated fats. The same beneficial kind found in olive oil, along with 4 g of protein, 975 milligrams of potassium, more than 2 bananas, 58 milligrams of magnesium, and significant amounts of vitamins C, E, K, folate, and B vitamins. The benefits for people with diabetes are honestly extraordinary. The high fiber and fat content means avocados have a glycemic index of essentially 0. They don't raise blood sugar at all. A study published in the journal Nutrition found that adding half an avocado to lunch helped overweight individuals feel satisfied for significantly longer and reduce their desire to eat by 40% over the next 3 hours, all without increasing blood sugar levels whatsoever. The monounsaturated fats in avocados have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce systemic inflammation, which are both absolutely critical factors in managing diabetes effectively. Research from the Journal of Clinical Lipidology demonstrated that eating 1 avocado daily for 5 weeks improved cholesterol profiles and reduced dangerous belly fat in overweight adults. Belly fat is particularly hazardous for people with diabetes because it's directly linked to worsening insulin resistance. Avocados also contain a compound called avocatin B, which researchers have found can help reduce insulin resistance by targeting incomplete fat metabolism in skeletal muscle and pancreatic tissue. The best way to eat avocado is fresh and raw because cooking can break down some of the beneficial nutrients. Adding avocado to meals that contain carbohydrates actually helps lower the glycemic response of the entire meal. If you eat toast, adding avocado significantly reduces how much that bread spikes your blood sugar. You can eat it for breakfast mashed on sprouted grain toast with eggs, for lunch in salads or sandwiches, or as an afternoon snack with raw vegetables or a small handful of nuts. The fat content keeps you genuinely satisfied for hours. The mistake most people make is eating avocado alongside high-carb foods without being mindful of portion sizes of those carbs. Another error is buying store-bought guacamole that's loaded with added sugars, preservatives, and low-quality oils. Always make your own or read ingredient labels extremely carefully. I had a patient named Richard, a 63-year-old retired firefighter with A1C levels hovering around 7.8 despite medication. He started eating half an avocado with his eggs every morning and another half with his lunch salad. 3 months later, his A1C had dropped to 6.9 and he'd lost 11 lbs without consciously trying to restrict calories. For a simple preparation, slice a ripe avocado in half, remove the pit, and fill the center with cherry tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil, fresh lemon juice, sea salt, and cracked black pepper. You can also add a poached egg on top for extra protein. The recommended portion for avocado is about half to 1 whole avocado per day. Start with half and monitor how your body responds. Side effects of consuming too much are generally digestive. Eating excessive amounts can cause upset stomach, bloating, or diarrhea because of the high fat and fiber content. Some people are allergic to avocados, particularly those with latex allergies. If you're taking blood thinners, the vitamin K content can interfere with medication effectiveness. When buying avocados, hold one in your palm, and fruit, Number 3, and fiber support, gently squeeze without using your fingertips. It should yield to gentle pressure, but not feel mushy. Check under the small stem cap at the top. If it comes off easily and you see green underneath, it's perfectly ripe. Fruit too, apples. There's an old saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And for people with diabetes, there's actually solid scientific truth behind this folk wisdom. Apples are among the most extensively researched fruits when it comes to blood sugar management. A medium apple, roughly 182 gr, contains about 95 calories, 25 gr of carbohydrates, and 4.44 gr of fiber, with a significant portion being soluble fiber called pectin. You're also getting 8.4 milligrams of vitamin C, 195 milligrams of potassium, and a wide array of polyphenols, particularly keratin, which is highly concentrated in the skin. Different apple varieties have slightly different nutritional profiles, but they all share the same beneficial compounds that assist with diabetes management. The benefits for diabetics are numerous and scientifically validated. Apples have a low to medium glycemic index ranging from 30 to 50 depending on the variety, with Granny Smith apples being on the lower end of that spectrum. The fiber in apples, especially the pectin, significantly slows down digestion and the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, which prevents those dangerous glucose spikes. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate at least 5 apples per week had a measurably lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who didn't eat apples regularly. The polyphenols in apples, particularly concentrated in the skin, have been shown to reduce glucose absorption in the digestive tract and stimulate insulin receptors on cells, making your cells significantly more responsive to the insulin your body produces. Research found that women who ate 3 apples per day for 10 weeks experienced noticeably lower blood sugar levels compared to those who didn't consume apples. Apples also contain powerful antioxidants that protect the insulin-producing beta cells in your pancreas from oxidative stress and damage, which is absolutely crucial because once these cells are destroyed, you permanently lose the ability to produce insulin naturally. The best way to eat apples for blood sugar management is with the skin on because that's where the vast majority of beneficial compounds are concentrated. Eating a whole apple is far superior to drinking apple juice, which removes all the fiber and leaves you with concentrated sugar. The ideal time to eat an apple is as a snack between meals paired with a protein source like a handful of almonds, a piece of cheese, or natural peanut butter. The combination of fiber from the apple and protein creates an even more stable, sustained blood sugar response. The mistake that trips up most people with diabetes is consuming apples in processed forms. Applesauce, apple juice, dried apples, or apple pie, all of which either concentrate the sugars dramatically or add extra sugar while removing the beneficial fiber. Another common error is eating apples that are overripe, which have higher sugar content and degraded fiber. I worked with a man named Thomas, a 67-year-old with type 2 diabetes, who'd been avoiding all fruit for years because he was terrified of blood sugar spikes. I convinced him to try one Granny Smith apple with a tablespoon of almond butter as an afternoon snack. He was shocked when his blood sugar actually remained stable, and over time his overall glucose control improved because he was finally getting the fiber and antioxidants his body desperately needed. For a simple preparation, core a medium apple and slice it into wedges. Sprinkle with cinnamon and a tiny pinch of sea salt. Pair with 1 to 2 tablespoons of natural almond or peanut butter for dipping. The cinnamon itself has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. The recommended portion is 1 medium apple per day, which you can eat all at once or split between 2 snacks. Side effects are mainly digestive. Eating too many apples can cause gas, bloating, or diarrhea because of the high fiber content. Some people experience oral allergy syndrome with apples, particularly those with birch pollen allergies, which causes mild itching or swelling in the mouth and throat. When buying apples, look for ones that are firm with no soft spots, bruises, or wrinkled skin. For the absolute lowest glycemic impact, choose Granny Smith apples, which are more tart and contain slightly less natural sugar. Organic apples are worth considering because conventional apples are typically heavily treated with pesticides. Fruit 1, pears. Pears are the often overlooked cousin of apples, but they absolutely deserve a spotlight of their own when it comes to diabetes management. These bell-shaped fruits have a unique texture and nutritional profile that makes them particularly fruit number 4 and metabolic balance valuable for blood sugar control. A medium pear, about 178 gram, contains approximately 101 calories, 27 grams of carbohydrates, and an impressive 5.5 grams of fiber, which is higher than most other commonly consumed fruits. You're also getting 8 milligrams of vitamin C, 206 milligrams of potassium, 12 micrograms of vitamin K, and substantial amounts of copper and antioxidants, particularly concentrated in the skin. The distinctive grainy texture of pears comes from stone cells in the fruit, which are actually part of that beneficial fiber content. The benefits for people with diabetes are significant and backed by solid research. Pears have a glycemic index of around 38, which is considered low and means they won't cause rapid blood sugar spikes. The high fiber content, particularly soluble fiber, promotes healthy digestion and dramatically slows down the release of sugar into your bloodstream, creating a gentle, sustained energy release rather than a sharp spike. A study published in the journal Nutrition and Metabolism found that consuming pears improved glycemic control and reduced inflammatory markers in adults at high risk for metabolic syndrome, which often precedes the development of type 2 diabetes. The flavonoids in pears, particularly concentrated in the skin, have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce oxidative stress throughout the body. Research has demonstrated that the polyphenols in pears can actually inhibit certain digestive enzymes that break down complex carbohydrates into simple sugars, effectively lowering the glycemic impact of entire meals. Pears also contain a unique combination of fiber types that feed beneficial gut bacteria. And emerging research shows that gut health is directly connected to blood sugar regulation and insulin sensitivity in ways we're only beginning to fully understand. The best way to eat pears is fresh with the skin on, just like apples, because the skin contains the majority of fiber and beneficial plant compounds. Pears are unique in that they ripen better off the tree, so you'll typically buy them firm and allow them to ripen at home until they yield slightly too gentle pressure at the neck. Eat them when they're just ripe, not overripe, for the optimal balance of flavor, texture, and blood sugar impact. Pears pair wonderfully with protein and healthy fats. Try them sliced with a piece of sharp cheese, in a salad with walnuts, or as a snack with almond butter. The mistakes people make with pears include letting them become too ripe and mushy, at which point the sugar concentration increases and the fiber begins to break down. Eating canned pears is another major error because they're almost always packed in heavy syrup loaded with added sugar. Dried pears dramatically concentrate the sugars and remove the water content, making them far more likely to spike blood sugar. I had a patient named Gloria, a 61-year-old teacher with pre-diabetes who was determined not to progress to full diabetes. She started eating one fresh pear with a small handful of walnuts as her afternoon snack instead of the crackers and cheese she'd been eating. 6 months later, her fasting glucose had dropped from 118 to 97, firmly back into normal range. She told me, "I can't believe something this simple actually worked." For a simple preparation, slice a ripe pear in half lengthwise and remove the core with a spoon. Drizzle with a tiny bit of raw honey or sugar-free syrup. Sprinkle with cinnamon and top with a few crushed walnuts. You can eat it fresh like this or lightly bake it at 350 degrees for 15 minutes for a warm, comforting dessert. The recommended portion is 1 medium pear per day. Monitor your individual blood sugar response because everyone's body reacts slightly differently. Side effects mainly involve digestive discomfort. Since pears are very high in fiber, eating too many can cause bloating, gas, or loose stools. Pears also contain sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol, and in large amounts, this can have a mild laxative effect. When buying pears, understanding ripeness is crucial because unlike most fruits, pears don't ripen well on the tree. Buy pears that are firm without any soft spots or bruises. To ripen them at home, leave them at room temperature for a few days to a week. Check ripeness by gently pressing near the stem. If it yields to gentle pressure, it's ready to eat. So there you have it. The 4 best fruits scientifically proven to help manage diabetes and support healthy blood sugar levels naturally. Berries with their powerful antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and blood sugar stabilizing fiber. Avocados with their healthy monounsaturated fats and essentially zero glycemic impact. Apples with their pectin fiber and insulin sensitizing polyphenols, and pears with their impressive fiber content and compounds that actually slow carbohydrate digestion. These aren't just theoretical benefits we're talking about. These are real practical tools you can use every single day to take meaningful control of your health. Start with one fruit. See how your body responds by checking your blood sugar 1 to 2 hours after eating and gradually incorporate the others as you feel comfortable. The key is consistency, not perfection. Adding even one of these fruits to your daily routine while removing processed foods and added sugars can create measurable improvements in your blood sugar control over time. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please type "I watched till the end" in the comments below. It helps me know this message is reaching people who genuinely need it, and it helps YouTube share this information with more people struggling with blood sugar issues. And then tell me, which of these 4 fruits are you most excited to try? Or are you already eating one of them regularly? Share your experience in the comments. I read every single message, and your stories help other people feel less alone in this journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who's dealing with diabetes or prediabetes, a parent, a spouse, a friend who needs this information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos on managing blood sugar, improving metabolic health, and living well with diabetes. Thank you for being here and for taking your health seriously. Remember, small, consistent changes add up to major improvements over time. Take care of yourself. This is Dr. Williams Thompson, and I'll see you in the next